Good morning, everybody.
Winning,
Good morning.
winning.
I hope that you guys are ready for a very spicy topic.
It's spicy.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna be spicy on my end. Well, you know what? It's
Nice.
gonna be spicy on your end as well.
Yeah.
Because,
I wish, I
I feel
wish
like,
our
yeah.
little chat bubbles could have like the little chili pepper.
Oh, you mean like when we speak?
Yeah.
Like, this is spicy talk today. It's gonna be, I think this is something everyone can relate to. I feel like that everyone has dealt with this shit, toxic work environments in one way or another, you know?
Mhm.
In a lot of the working world, I've worked, actually, I started working when I was 16. So I've worked for a while. I've dealt with toxic work environment places, that shit.
Mhm.
And I know with us, you and I,
Mhm.
our previous job was hella toxic, especially on
Oh
to
God,
you.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Don't live with family.
yeah. But before we get into all that, uh, Abby told me a little something or other that I didn't hear about
I don't
Disney.
know how you didn't hear about this.
Was it this week?
Yeah, it was this week.
That's why I was. I've pretty much been MIA all week. Not gonna lie, I haven't even been on my phone. I hardly even touched Twitter. It was that bad.
Yeah, you messaged me what, like yesterday or something? You're like, I haven't touched TikTok in like a week. Time to look at everything you've sent
Yeah,
me.
it was plus. It was 99 plus. That's how you know it was bad. And I watched it until like 1 or 2 in the
Okay, but
morning.
let's be honest. Let's be real honest. I'm gonna be real honest about this. You could give me like 2 days and I would hit that very easily.
That's true. That is true. But I saw that it was started on a Tuesday, and I was like, God dang, it's already Friday, Saturday. I gotta
Mm.
watch all this. And I spent a while. It was good though. It was good. But yes, Disney. Tell me about the Disney thing before we get into it.
Um, I haven't looked up the actual article myself, but apparently Iger put out a statement. Who is the new CEO? He's a returning CEO. Chopik was removed and replaced by Iger.
Mm-hmm.
And he put out a apology. He apparently said that he was sorry that um Disney has turned very like money grabbing in the past
Mm-hmm.
few years. Um so that's very exciting. We
I'm
had
so
heard from a
excited.
friend that Disney was lowering their prices.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting a fucking actual like apology.
Really.
But of course it's Iger, so are we surprised now?
I I kind of because I remember when I was talking about Iger coming in, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the prices may not change," and it may not change. It might
Yeah, I mean,
continue
I'm
going
saying
up, but at least someone acknowledges that, yeah, this is kind of bullshit. I'm like, yeah, this is kind
it
of bullshit
is.
because it
But
is.
also it just like proves that like the pure difference
Mm-hmm.
between like Iger and Chopik because Iger like obviously he had to settle in. Like he had to settle in, he had to assess the damage and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that he actually apologized.
Right? I'm
Hey,
actually
he's an
happy.
old white man too.
I I think it's more like he understands. I think he understands the people more, like as
I don't think
customers.
it's just the people. I think he actually understands like the actual magic of Disney.
You think? Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. He's been in the game for so long. I respect. Plus, I hope they bring back the performers. Like in Disney World, they just have the random.
Mhm.
Bring those back. That shit was fun.
Because they got rid of like obviously they sent home a lot of the international actors and cast members and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
at the start of the pandemic, which is fair.
Yeah,
Um,
but don't
but they had
go ahead.
basically canceled their contract before that though,
Mm.
and weren't planning on like renewing a lot of things, like the drummers and the lion dancers, um, in the Chinese pavilion and things like that. Um, I do think the Whimsy, I don't know what her name is, but like the Green Lady in Animal Kingdom was actually returning.
Really? Oh, good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm with you. I do hope that they bring back like a lot of like the magic.
Mm-hmm. What made it nice? Hi, Dylan. I haven't heard about this news for Disney, so this is a first for me.
E-
So yeah, I agree. I'm very excited to see how it works out. I'm glad everyone's here. I hope everyone has good stories about today's topic, toxic work environments.
Cool.
Yeah. But yes, good on Disney for actually listening to the people, at least apologizing for it. Now, if you're apologizing for it, maybe you should do something about it.
Mhm.
I feel like apologies are just not enough anymore. Not for me. Anywho, I mean, what did Disney do this time? They actually apologized, Nasium. Ain't that some shit?
Yep.
They actually
And not just like a
apologized.
Disney apology. This was like Iger. This is the
Yeah,
CEO.
absolutely. Like, it's just good. It's just delicious. I don't know if it's justice yet, but it is a nice start, you know?
Also, there are rumors that they are lowering prices. Not only did we get an apology from the CEO, but that there is rumors of the prices lowering again.
Yeah, Nasium about that.
Again, rumors. Rumors. We'll see.
Mm. Anyway, I'm super excited to talk about this topic because, as
I do know.
you do know, I actually
I'm sure
started.
most millennials know as well.
No, oh, yes, true. But like, I recently started a new job, and my start date was this week, right? Now,
Mhm.
granted, I had accepted this job
Mhm.
for a particular reason. Okay, I was supposed to do social media, correct? Correct.
Yep.
I went in there for social media, and they said, "Oh, you might do some data entry as well." And I said, "That's fine. Data entry and social media," because when I'm sorry, we're going right into the toxic work environment because like
Yep.
I feel like as millennials, they expect us, they being older boomers and even some Gen Xers expect us to just
I would say
accept it.
management,
Yes,
older management,
older
just people
management.
above us.
Hmm.
And that would include people who were trained by boomers and Gen Xers and things like that.
Oh, you know what? Fair. Yeah. I would
Because
also
I
say,
had like a millennial-esque cusp, so between a millennial and a Gen Xer,
yeah.
um, manager as my first manager at World Market. I've talked about World Market. I went through two general managers there. Um, so it's like he was definitely like a cusp, um, a very late millennial, but it's like you could tell that he had some old school training.
Hmm. I, I'm. I don't know if it's like a let's just say management, especially older management. And I say this again, I'm not trying to be like ageist or anything, but I feel like in this particular case, at least in this case,
Mhm.
I was told I would replace someone who left a while back, right?
Yeah,
We're gonna call her Kendra. Let's call her Kendra because
Kendra. Okay.
I was supposed to replace a Kendra or something like that, right? And what her job was also social media and some data entry. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to do some social media, but we're really going to let you focus on the data entry. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, sure.
Hmm.
I accepted after my interview. I was like, that's fine. Like, data entry is easy. No problem. I go in on the first day and
Mhm.
immediately, like, people sent, like, they're sussing out the new girl. That's fair. That's fine. It's whatever. But I, uh, I was immediately asked, what is it that you do? How? I don't know, actually. I was supposed to do social media and data entry. That's about it. I can't tell you how many times I have been asked, well, what is it you do? Well, I really don't know. So I started saying, oh, I'm doing Kendra's job, whoever that was. And I literally said, whoever that was, right? Everybody else around me is like, oh, yeah, oh, okay. So you're doing her job. Okay, that makes sense. It don't make sense to me. Someone explain it to me. Because I was told I would wear many hats in different
Yeah.
departments of the thing. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. My entire training week, I still don't know what I'm doing. And that's not on me, that's on management. If I, as a new person, still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like,
Right.
because yes, I'm doing data entry, but they also got me doing, like, learning other things. They had me
Mhm.
learning these things, Abby. And then
Mhm.
after I learned that, they're like, but you might not even use this. Then why are you
What the
teaching me?
fuck?
Exactly. Oh my God, the amount of times that happened.
What? What the actual fuck?
Mm-hmm. And okay, I will give them fake names. I will give all of them fake names. So there was maybe like 3 or 4 of us of the same age, right?
Mhm.
I One of them is the owner's daughter. We'll call her Rose. So Rose,
Okay.
yeah. So Rose actually was training me the most, right? She's so cool. Was very understanding of my confusion because, like, no one could tell me. Not even when I met the owner himself, he couldn't really tell me what I was doing. In fact, he asked
I'm gonna be
me.
real fucking honest. Real fucking honest. That sounds like our old boss.
Yeah, I know. But, like, he even asked me. He's like, "Oh, so did you get a handle on everything of what you're supposed to do?" And I said the words he said right back to me when I first interviewed. I said, um, well, I mean, it's just like you said, I'm wearing many hats, I guess. And he was like, "Oh, okay, so you got the idea." No, I don't, sir. I
Nope.
don't got the idea because I'm learning things that I probably shouldn't even be learning. Because a lot of them tell me, well, you're not going to be really doing this. Then why are it's just, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Are they
No,
trying to
it
make you
sounds
into the
exactly
manager
like
without the
our
title
old
and
boss.
yeah, okay, yeah, no, it's bad. But like okay, so do you remember when you came on? I
Mhm.
taught you everything that I know you needed to learn. I didn't waste your fucking time, right? Because he also had tasks that I didn't know that you had to learn on your own, right?
And I had to like it's not just learning how to do it on my own. I had to completely set up that system,
Yeah. And
which was completely ignored.
right. Now, this is a big place. Like, it's not, less than 10 people working like it was with us. It's more than 10
Mhm.
people working. There's a system, but the system is terrible. I don't even know. They, I don't even know. But yes, I'm not a manager yet. I say yet because,
Yeah.
listen, when I tell you
Mhm.
the first half was comical, I've only worked there 5 days and I'm already exhausted. Like, the first half was comical. I was laughing. I was like, okay, so they obviously are not ready for me yet. Obviously. And this
No
is,
one's ever ready for you.
I'm just too much to handle. No, but this is where the toxicity comes in. Around the third or fourth day, I was working. No one, of course, still know who. like what it is I did or what it is I do. And I realize
Mhm.
now that upper management, I guess, is trying to keep it hush hush because they're slowly adding things to my, I guess, tasks that I didn't sign up for. And that's where the
Yeah.
toxicity comes in. Because when I was hired and working, a lot of people, I think maybe like two or I don't know if one other person might. So a lot of people are leaving in the month of January. So guess
Mm.
who gets to pick up their tasks?
The new
The new
girl.
girl, which was not something I signed up for at all,
Mm.
and was terrible. So I'm gonna be clear. I have a great job and I work with great people. My immediate employees, coworkers, and boss are the best you can imagine. Toronto is very isolated. Don't know we exist, and that's fine by me because competing workforce toxic. Oh yeah. So if you want to, I can share two stories. Yes, I want to hear all the toxic stories, please, because I don't want to feel like I'm alone on this. But anyway, this is why we're like everyone has. I'm pretty sure everyone has a toxic work environment story. I've been working for a while. Again, since I was 16, I have a lot of them. But in this case, it was just terrible because I know for a fact they're exploiting the young worker. And I know this because Rose told me this. Rose told me that there are several older people who use her because she's more tech savvy. Doesn't this sound familiar? Um,
Weaponized incompetence.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. There are several other people there working, and they go to Rose, who is again
Hey, you
like
say
around my age.
Rose?
Yeah,
You
go.
say Rose is the daughter?
Yes, Rose is the daughter of the owner, so they still go
Girl,
to
you gotta
Rose.
warn her.
No,
You gotta warn her.
no, they still go to Rose. They still go to Rose to tell her like, oh, well, I can't do this. They even Rose told me this story. They were like, oh, my email's broken. What
No, it's not. You're just
I
stupid.
just
You're just stupid.
I cannot because again these are
Girl, you
like
gotta tell
boomers.
her. You
These are
gotta
like
tell her.
no, these are boomers that are just complaining that they can't work the internet, and they have become so lazy that Rose has to pick up after them. Like she's forced to pick up after them, which is
Weaponized incompetence.
exactly. And I am not that person. They are not going to do that to me. I'm sorry. Like they're not. I'm going to act fucking
Actually,
stupid. And I'm good at acting
that a
stupid.
very similar story is why I stopped listening to the radio.
Really? Tell me.
Yeah, because it was like one of the hosts for like one of the local radio stations, like Magic 96.5 or something. This old ass boomer like host who's been on there for fucking like a decade or more or whatever
Mm-hmm.
was bitching about his like emails. He's like, why? I'm just like, well, if you're too stupid to figure it out, I guess like I don't have to listen to y'all.
I it's the weaponized incompetence for me.
It is. It's just
It
like you
really
are
is.
too stupid to do your job, then you don't need to be doing your job.
I am. Mm, I just
That's just my opinion.
no. I agree to that opinion. I agree to that opinion because, like, bruh, I just okay. Sorry. When I heard
How
that,
many times did our boss have to like come in and have me fix something for him
I know,
with his
or with his phone. I had to deal with his phone sometimes. You guys, you either
And then he
adapt.
went and got an Apple phone. He got an iPhone, and I'm just like, fuck this shit. I don't know what to do with this.
Oh, I
Like,
know
I
how to deal with
legitimately
it.
have no idea what to do with this because you went and changed something because you wanted to FaceTime your daughter while you were in Alaska.
See, that's the thing. Like, okay, I also remember that he had a Samsung Flip, like I do. I have a Samsung Z Flip. I love it, and I said I loved it, but I knew for a fact it was not going to be a phone for him because he is too rough, right?
Yeah.
And he broke it because of course he did. And I'm like, I told you
Hmm.
this isn't a phone for you. Like, I don't think it's a good idea, but I mean, whatever. And now he complains, oh, well, it just breaks so easily. No, sir. You just suck at opening a phone.
Yeah, because
Period.
he's broken. Yeah, how many phones? Okay, I was there for 3 years. I started back in like the very end of 2019.
2 phones I remember.
So,
3
like, how
considering this
many
one.
phones did he go through while I was, honestly, in 3 years? How many phones did he go through?
Let's see.
4
Yeah, maybe even more, honestly.
easily.
Because he wants to be hip and cool, but he doesn't like how, in his words, like how fragile they are. Meh. All right, first
And then he
story of the
bitches
day.
about like each one being different because he started off with like two different Motorola's,
Oh
and then
yeah,
went to a Samsung,
you're
and then went to another
right.
Samsung, and then went to an Apple. I'm like, because you're switching. You have no brand loyalty. If you stuck with it, it would not be confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for
Interesting.
me, Samsung's a little confusing because I never really worked with Samsung.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Like I recently just switched to Motorola, and
Yeah.
it's a little confusing because I was sticking with like HTC and LG and things like that. So like Motorola is different, but it's like sticking with it. It's not that confusing. It's fine. It's not that bad. You just have to stick with it and actually learn something.
Oh God.
I'm
See,
mad.
no, as you should be, like as you should be. So, I'm going to read both stories, Kumo, in a second. But yeah, so I'm trying to TLDR my entire experience. On the third day, this is the where again another toxic work environment thing that was a huge red flag for me. So the person who was supposed to train me, Rose, was
Mm-hmm.
sick that day, and they gave her the day off, which I'm very grateful for because I understand she's sick. She
That was
takes her
not happening.
Yeah, she takes her jobs very seriously, so I understand like her being sick is a thing. I walk in and the person who hired me, let's call her Brenda because Brenda is such an old
Ugh.
person name to me. So we're calling her Brenda. Brenda pushes me onto another person who wasn't aware they were supposed to train me that day. So
Mm,
I get
that
introduced to
sounds
this
familiar.
new person. Shit, I can't. I'm running out of names.
Melissa? Melissa, okay?
Melissa. Yeah, Melissa's fine.
Okay.
So I meet Melissa for the first time,
Okay.
and they said, "Oh, hey, Melissa, you're actually going to be training Ricey here on how to like do these certain tasks." Melissa apparently had a project that day, right?
Yeah.
Melissa looks at me, and she looks at the lady, and she's like, "I have several things before I can even get to you." And I'm like, don't worry, it's fine. Do what you got to do. I will wander and you can find me when you're done. Like, I'm trying to make myself look small. I'm trying not to,
Yeah.
like, get in her way, like, get out of everybody's way because everyone was hella busy. It was after the holidays, right? So they had, like,
Yep.
they were behind. But she actually looked so upset, not at me, just at the situation, right?
Yeah.
Because again, toxic work environment, they just threw this on her while she has a project and she couldn't say no. Like they put her in her position where she couldn't say no. And I felt so bad. Okay? So Melissa is like walking around doing these things and I'm upstairs like cuz it's 3 floors, right?
Hmm.
Wandering around, familiarizing myself with the place cuz of course I will get lost. This place is huge. I will of course get lost.
Of course.
I go downstairs and I see Melissa talking to another lady. And I hear my name. I hear her say Ricey. And I'm walking down. I hear them talking about me. And she looks at me and she like tries to tell her friend to stop. Like hushed. And they immediately just hushed. And I'm like, this is a very
Hmm.
this is a very welcoming situation I find myself in. So I approach them. I'm not running away. I approach them. They
You're not. You never do.
I of course I don't.
These white women don't know how to deal with the spice.
I approach them because I'm like, you got something to say? And I walk, and of course, the lady who overheard, like, who was, the other lady involved, she like looked down. And I said, "Are you ready for me yet?" And she's like, "No, no, I still got some other things." And I said, "All right, well then I'll continue wandering around." And I left them two alone because I want them to fucking know. I heard you. I heard you.
Mm,
I don't. I'm gonna make you awkward. And I looked them both dead in the eyes because I was like, I don't know who you were. Like I know. Mm-mm. I'm not some meek and mild person. I have spice. No,
was Melissa young or old?
older. I think like a Gen
Of
Xer.
course.
Let's say.
Ugh.
So they're all like, I'm working with a bunch of old gossipy ladies. That's dead ass. Old gossipy ladies.
White Southern gossipy lady.
That's exactly what it is. And
I'll call it out.
No, it is what it is.
It's not racist if I say it.
Right. No, but Melissa, like, I feel bad for Melissa. I understand she had a huge project and stuff, and she was running around trying to get shit done, but also taking time, apparently, to gossip about me, but that's fine. I spent all day with Melissa. She barely talked to me or taught me anything. Barely told me anything, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until the last 2 hours where we actually did stuff together and she started talking to me. And I was like, this was a whole waste of a day. Like, you're wasting my time. And I could tell, again, I'm not blaming Melissa. I'm blaming upper management who pushed me onto Melissa when Melissa didn't even realize she was going to train me. Like, that's toxic. Like, you put us all in such an uncomfortable position. And they can't say no. Had it been me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't. And what was her name? Brenda could go find someone else because I can't do it. And I felt so bad for Melissa. I really did. Then on the fourth day, this is all in 1 week, all in 5 days. I was hit with a bombshell that Rose is leaving. And yeah, Rose is leaving, which again, I'm very happy for Rose.
I wonder why.
I'm very happy for Rose. I want Rose to do what she's got to do. But I was told, and I quote, oh, we finally, and this is coming from Brenda, okay, who was the lady who hired me, older lady, boomer, absolute boomer. Oh, well, now we have we know exactly where to put you. And I was like, oh, really? She was like, yeah, so not everyone knows, but Rose is leaving. So you're going to be doing her job. And I was like, oh, okay, so I will be doing Rose's job. So what about Becca's job? Is that going to be, oh, no, you're going to be doing Becca's job too.
No.
What? And I kid you not, I think I'm very expressive, as a lot of you may know. I'm very expressive. I think she saw my expression as, because I was thinking, well, you didn't hire me for this, right? I didn't take this job to do two people's job. So Linda oh my God, I called her name. Brenda tries to tell me, oh, you know what? It's okay. You're still going to be doing social media. Yeah, Brenda, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. You're just adding things on to me at this point.
I think with that statement, I finally realized what the major difference is. Is that they think that people are gonna stick with a job regardless of their other tasks to be able to do the one thing they want to do at that job. And they think that's a perk.
Yeah. That's not a perk. I'm not getting paid enough for that. Two people's jobs? Hell no. Hell, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely not. And so I'm sitting here. That's technically 3 different jobs I got to do. I go to Rose. I congratulate Rose because, Rose and I were talking. She's very happy. She wants to move on. Very happy for her. Does this come with increased pay? Nope. Apparently not. I don't think. Dylan, because
you should have asked.
Yeah, I should have, but I was like, because at this point I was still processing everything going on, right? I'm still even to this day I'm still processing what the fuck just happened in my first 5 days. So I go back, I talk to Rose, I congratulate Rose, and she tells me that we have a warehouse area. The warehouse manager is also leaving sooner than she is, sooner than Rose.
Mm.
And I don't have to manage any of the people, but there are several things in shipping and receiving that involve data entry. And she's like,
Mm.
so yeah, you're actually going to be doing that part of his job too until they find someone else.
No, you're not.
And I said, excuse me? You know, it's funny because like she was teaching me how to do this task. And I said, okay, so who's doing this exactly so I know who to ask questions for? She points to me. And that's how I found out. Rose points to me and I was like, I kid you not, verbatim, I said, well, fuck. And like, I don't know how else to respond. I literally responded with, well, fuck. And I laugh. And like, so technically I'm doing 3.5 people's jobs.
Fuck that shit, I'm out.
I can't. I just can't. So, on my last day on Friday, I finally did a task that I was designed to do. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Kumo, I was going to quit. I was going to quit that day, but I cannot just quit. I have to have a backup because I can't just quit. I can't do that. I kid y'all though. I kid y'all not. On Friday, I actually did a task that I was supposed to do, but I did nothing because, you know, Rose was doing it just to teach me. So I was just kind of shadowing her. I was in a warehouse. Tell me if this sounds familiar, Abby. I was in a warehouse.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, with no air conditioning or heating. It was 30 degrees. I froze my ass off. I thankfully brought in a chunky, I brought in like a huge jacket, double layered I got 2 long sleeve shirts and a jacket, and I wore really comfy boots. My hands were freezing and my face was freezing. Like, I looked like fucking Rudolph. It was bad. I was cold all day. And I sat there in the warehouse and I literally contemplated. I was like, is this what I want my life like? Immediately I went on Indeed on the clock and started applying for new jobs. I was like, fuck this. Fuck all y'all. I know exactly what you're trying to do. And Rose and I had a conversation about how badly they exploit Rose and other like younger workers to do the older people's work for them. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's so toxic. I'm not doing that. Weaponized incompetence. I'm not about that life. Mm-mm. And
it's weaponized incompetence and it's hazing too.
Yeah, and I also understand that they obviously kept my job description vague. They intentionally did that so that they could just add on tasks to me.
Yep.
And say, well, this is what you signed up for. No, sir, it was not what I signed up for. This is not what I signed up for. And I'm already planning to leave because this is ridiculous. And I love myself too much to be put into such a position. And if I leave, it's not my problem. They're going to find someone else. I'm not going to be guilted into it. Because again, you're fucking with the wrong person. I've worked since I was 16 years old. I know what toxic work environments are, and I am not gonna wait around and torture myself and I went into a depression because of all this. Because you know me, Abby, I'm a very professional person. I value my work. I have a strong work ethic, right? Very strong work ethic. I pride myself in my work.
Far more leaving the warehouse than I did. So I just took everything, took the cats, and just sent a text. I'm like, I quit.
Oh, yeah, no.
You won't see me tomorrow.
I can't do that to the new guy. I actually trained the new guy. Because, again, I have a strong work ethic. I'm a very professional person. I value that in myself.
The new guy.
I'm not going to let him. Yes,
I
know. But, I am not going to let him drown. It's not his fault.
I know you know, but you know I know.
I know. But I'm not going to let him drown because of, our boss. I'm not going to just let him. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm professional.
I can.
But yeah, that's my first 5 days of my new job. Fuck that place already. I'm just No. And don't, and this is, I guess, this is my only advice. I understand that for a lot of people, like, work is hard to come by. I understand.
Mm,
So my option to you, or I guess my advice to you is, if you're stuck staying there, like, don't be scared to fight back, because in all honesty, we hold all the cards. That's what my husband told me. He said, I hold all the cards. I could leave in a time where they need me the most, and leave them with like nobody, or I can bargain with them and tell them, either you pay me for the work of 3 people or I'm out. But I have to work there, a long time to say that I actually can actually do this, right? I have to actually have some experience. But I understand what he was coming from. But at this point, I'm following Gen Z's kind of mentality, where if you don't treat me right, I'm out. I'm out. Fuck that. I'm sick of the millennials. Like, we're sticking to it because we need loyalty or whatever in the company. Fuck that shit. Fuck loyalty. If you're being mistreated, leave. I'm following that mentality. And honestly, I'm very happy. I'm at once. I told my friend, we had a dinner yesterday. I was telling my friends this, in our dinner.
mm-hmm.
And she goes, man, I just left. I was just up and left after the 3rd day, and they did that to me and wasted my time. I would have just up and left. And I wouldn't even say anything about it. I just wouldn't show up for the 2nd or the 4th day. I wouldn't even show up. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm professional. But yeah, like, it's very bad. Very bad. On your last day, take a rancid lunch and then leave it in some place they're not going to find it. No, I can't. I'm not going to do that to them. Again, I hold my professionalism to a very high regard. And I think that's also why they hired me. But also, I'm not going to take their shit. But that's my toxic work story. I am so glad that gave us enough time to read everybody else's. So do you want to read Kumo's? Because I'll read Dylan's.
Okay. I was about to say, it's like, which one of Kumo's?
Both. This is toxic work environments. And if any of
There's
you guys have an experience...
5 of them.
Oh, yeah, just read them. And if any of you guys have an experience, please let us know in our chat. We will read them, because I love to hear these stories. Bet.
Okay, so Kumo has several. So the first one he marked as 1 was, okay, my personal one first. A person who works at another company that we contract with was replaced approximately 4 months ago. This person and I pass information back to each other occasionally. Large documentations pass back and forth. 85% of our interactions were through email. 5% are through text if it's high priority. The last 10% would normally be through phone calls to go over points if it's especially detailed.
Right.
When the new person
I think this is the same story.
When the new person hired on 4 months ago, they sent me an email informing me they were a cancer survivor, but it had rendered them medically mute, so all interactions would need to be through email and text. They could listen on calls, but were incapable of speaking. Sure, no big deal. Easy accommodation. Yeah, that seems very reasonable. Come to find out Thursday, the person joined a large group video call, and when they jumped in, went, hey everyone, hope you're doing well.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's delicious. All right, and
okay. Immediately someone on the call went, wait, isn't that mute? And they dropped off the call. So toxic part, all day Friday, I was getting literally screamed at by my company's HR department, to which, when I finally got a word in edgewise, said, so to be clear, going forward, you want me to interrogate people with disabilities that don't work for our company until what? We get sued for a HIPAA violation and an ADA violation? Like, you are HR, why am I the one explaining this to you? It is not HIPAA. Having worked at a call center and having to deal with many, many, many medical facilities and offices and doctors and things like that, that's not HIPAA. That is not HIPAA. ADA, yes, but it is not HIPAA. So that's terrible. I'm at this point far too traumatized, so I would just scream at them. I'm just like, you don't get to treat me this way.
Yeah, like they're taking their anger out on you for their mistake. That's exactly what that shit is. That's toxic AF. Motherfucker. I'd
And
fight for you,
besides, it was
Kumo.
a reasonable request. Like, even without having like cancer or anything like that, that's a very reasonable
That is a
request.
reasonable request. It's very accommodating. Like it's easy, like you said, easy accommodations.
Yeah, it's not your fault
Mm.
that they're a terrible person.
Right. Right. Absolutely correct.
You did what you could for 4 months, and then oh my god, no. I would have lost my shit over that.
Okay. And
Racey's like, be professional. I'm like, fuck that shit.
okay,
No.
there is okay, I will say there is a trick to this. You can be professionally petty. It's a honed skill that you can be. Like honestly, what Kumo said is in fact professionally petty. Because you're asking them, you're telling them what you know. Do you want me to actually interrogate people with disabilities? It's malicious compliance. In fact, in that sort, like I can do that if you want me to. However, these are the costs of those actions. Do you want that, or are you okay with, dealing with your own shit, kind of thing? Anyway, do you want to read Kuma's? That was delicious, by the way. That's some drama.
Do you want to do Dylan's first before I move on to Kumo's part 2?
Sure. Okay, so Dylan's story is my story when I was working at Best Buy. We had to do lessons that trained you how to do the job. I had one lesson that I refused to do, which was operation of the standing forklift. For those who do not know, Dylan the Cripple, there is a reason for that name.
There's a reason why he refers to himself as a Gimpy.
Oh.
He will introduce himself as Dylan the Cripple. He will introduce himself as Gimpy. He's like, call me Gimpy, things like that. There is an absolute reason for that.
This. Dylan also says, for those who don't know, when I was working this job, I utilized 4 on crutches. So in order for me to stand, I had to basically hold myself up. Because I refused to do the lesson, I received a write-up every single day. Did you sue?
You should have sued.
And this also led me not to get a promotion twice. Did you sue?
You should have sued.
Because that is actual
discrimination.
This was an option for my ignorant young mind. That's fair. Okay, a lot of young workers don't know that. But, now it wasn't also
this is why
automated.
I'm like, we should talk about this.
This is important. In this situation, that is discrimination against, like, disabled people. Like, you could sue. And you could have got that bag, baby. You could have got that bag.
Ooh, that would have been a nice bag, too.
It would have been a fantastic. Oh, my God.
Disability lawsuits are some nice bags,
hefty
by the
bags.
way.
Hefty, but not say, just, and I guarantee you, because disability, like, suing for disability, like, hold on, I can say this. Suing for discrimination against disabled people is such a hefty bag that companies would not want to fumble that. They will fix their shit so fast. And if they don't, then they will lose literally so much money. Like, so much money. And I guarantee you that they are too scared to do that shit, right? Next time, if any company does that to you, sue them and get that bag. That's all I'm saying.
Sue the
shit out of them. No loyalty. Fuck loyalty.
They have no loyalty to us. There's no loyalty to them.
Right. Oh, also Kuma said, job loyalty is a one-way street. Friend of mine just lost her job of 8 years with 0 days notice. She was a top employee. They even admitted it without cause during the downsizing.
Yep.
Also,
they request, like, this is why I'm just like, Ricey, there is no loyalty. You should not have just, like, you should have just not shown up. You should have just gone in, taken your shit, and just left.
Tarare?
Because it's
is
like,
that correct? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Our boss would have fucking just fired me on the spot with no safety net, with nothing.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So like 2 weeks notice is like,
First
he doesn't get that from me.
That's a courtesy, by the way, on our end. You need days notice or like notice if you're getting fired, or I guess you don't. It depends. I think there's something about that. Also, Tarare. I hope I said that correct. Oh nine. Welcome to the podcast. What are we talking about? We're talking toxic work environment stories. So if you have
Yep.
a toxic work environment stories, we will read them out loud. But yes, any kind of toxic work environment story, if they just mistreated you or anything like that, let us know.
Mm.
Also, oh, I will now. It's just a past I didn't know I could, but now I know. Oh, they're dead. Oh, yeah. You get that bag, brother. If they ever do that to you again,
Mhm.
you get that bag. Okay. Do you want to continue with Kumo's second story?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So Kuma's second story was story 2, jaw-droppingly awful. I have a friend that worked for our company's HR. Our HR is about 11 people, director, assistant director, and then other employees and secretaries. That's actually like a good-sized HR. Our HR is so toxic and so abusive. My friend checked herself into a literal suicide watch at a hospital. Holy
Holy shit.
fuck.
Oh, that's bad.
While she was in the hospital, they were spamming her phone with abuse and even said, "Stop faking and check yourself out," all in emails, voicemails, and texts. So when she checked out, she quit and sued. Hell yes,
Hell yeah,
girlfriend.
she did.
Get it. Our
Get that
entire
back.
HR team immediately quit because they all knew that what was coming, so our company had no HR at all for months and couldn't hire anyone because people would ask why an 11-person HR team had 0 members of HR conducting their interviews.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh.
I hope she won that. I hope she won that.
I bet she fucking did. I bet she did. Oh god.
My gosh, that was terrible. That is awful. And I really hope wherever she is, she's doing better, mentally better.
She is thriving.
I hope she's thriving. I hope she got her bag. I hope she sued the shit
Mm.
out of him and just retired. and I don't care how old. I hope she retires and never has to work a day in her life again.
Yep.
She deserves at least that much.
I
Good
can attest
Lord.
that HRs are shit. Like Chelsor is
Well,
always like HR ain't for the employees, it's for the company.
that's
Um,
exactly what it is. Oh my God, still ongoing, but last settlement offer was millions. She's a millionaire. I wish her the best. A millionaire.
She want a sugar baby? I'll be a sugar baby.
Mommy, please.
Please, mommy,
Please,
please.
mommy. 10 out of 10. Good for her.
But no, like I had a verbally and emotionally abusive manager at World Market when I worked at World Market.
Mhm.
And the entire team tried to go to HR about this. HR would not believe us. This was like going on for fucking months, like 6+ months. It was the worst because nobody would believe us.
Mhm.
Nobody outside would refuse to believe us.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And like the fucking HR representative pissed me off so bad, so often. That it's like I had an in-person interview with her multiple times, and I'm just like, you don't care.
Mhm.
You don't care. And I know her. I know her first and last name. I probably still have those emails buried in my
Oh my
Ymail
gosh.
account. I'd love to go back to World Market. I'd love to work at World Market. Stocking for World Market was one of the best jobs I've ever had. I love that job so much. But I'm just like, no. Because they pulled a manager from the Opelika store that helped open the Tuscaloosa store. They pulled her from like her transition from Opelika to Tuscaloosa
Mhm.
to come be like an inside job or like a spy, an inside spy, a mole. There we go, a
Oh
mole.
yeah. Okay.
Um, and it's just like you're not. Once she reports back, it's too late. We were having a turnaround of about 150 to 170%
Oh, that's
with
bad.
employees.
Oh, that's real bad.
Um, it was really, really bad. And it was one of those things that's just like, it, like, she's abusive. She's not, the
Mm-hmm.
manager is abusive. She's not going to show this to outsiders. And this mole is it's a very obvious outsider.
Yeah. Well,
She's
damn.
not going to do any of this in front of anybody.
Right. God
She
dang.
did start to slip a little bit though. She did, like, you could see that, like, the mole was starting to see it past everything.
Okay, good.
Um, but it was too late because
Dang.
she'd been there for like 3 months, and it's like it's still too late.
Let me hey, our new chatter has a story. What's this? This does
Yeah.
not involve work environment, but it involves toxic community environment. In any situation, any environment, a good environment depends on your relationship with those you are working with. I absolutely agree. I used to work as a barista for Starbucks.
Hmm.
Our manager was kind of terrible, but it didn't really matter because us as a team, as like a team, worked so well together that because if you have just have a good team, you could stand up to the manager and the manager will back down.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that having a good team. I do remember one time um, that one of our workers in our team, he had like a tragedy happen
Mm.
during the like he found out really bad news during his shift, and he was told he still had to work. And I was so mad. I was mad because I'm like, he just received horrible news. What do you mean he still has to work? The majority of the time he was in the back, like losing it, right?
Mm.
I walk up to the manager and I said, "Look at him. He is in no state to work. You need to send him home. You need to send him home." Because I was
Ricey 10
appalled.
out of 10 will bully a manager.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Because I was like,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just like telling people, I'm like, you will absolutely go up to like a grown ass white man and just bully the shit out of
okay,
them.
well, this wasn't a white man, but yes, I will bully. I don't care who. I don't fucking care who. Because they were like, oh, he was like, they were like, are you done? Like, you need to go back out there. And I straight up walked in there in the back and I told them, you need to send him home. He is in no, because he was like, they forced him back out onto the floor where customers can see
Mm.
him. Like, and he's trying to hold back tears. I'm sitting here like, this is humiliation on his part. Like, you don't, that's terrible how you're treating your workers. You're humiliating him in front of customers, and customers don't know what the heck is going on. You know, that was bad management. Hella bad management. I go back there. I said, you need to send him home. I don't fucking care. Like, and I said, I will take a shift. I will fucking take a shift because, again, we're a team. We all help each other out. I will take a
Mm.
shift. You need to send him home because this is garbage. And I laid it on them. They knew I was mad, and I never really get mad. I'll talk to them, but I would never like raise my voice or get mad because everything I said made sense, and they couldn't give me a good reason as to why he should stay. So they sent him home, which I'm very happy they did because I would have lost my fucking shit. So they sent him home, and I was happy about it. And he was grateful to me to even because how is he gonna fight? He's in shambles. So I took a shift and I said to anyone, I was like, if that ever happens again, you let me know because I will fucking fight somebody. I'll fucking fight somebody.
She will.
I'll fucking fight somebody. Don't let anyone treat you like that, manager, or just walk out. Majority of the time, they need you more than you need them. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. And if you mess with one person on the team, and they realize this really quick, if you mess with one person on the team, everyone else on the team is gonna like mess with you back. That's what having a good team is about, for real,
Mm-hmm.
for real. I told Abby this too. I think I have problems with authority. I think that's also.
Oh,
Oh
Not just authority, like male authority.
Not even just male, just authority in
Like a
general.
general authority, but like every time you've told me a story about like an authority like
Authority.
specifically authority problem, it's always been a male.
Because, okay, I hate to say it, but the majority of the people that I work for, whose authority I had to listen to was male authority.
Hmm.
And like, it could be female, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't discriminate. I don't fucking discriminate. I'm
You
just like,
don't.
I don't discriminate. I'm spicy. I think I appreciate my parents because I was grown, I was raised to be hella polite, like very polite, know my
Hmm.
manners. But I was also taught to not let anyone step on you ever.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Don't let no, 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 no. Mm-mm.
Honestly, I loved watching Ricey bully our manager.
Oh, our previous manager, when we
Hmm.
worked together. Oh, goodness. Um, how? Oh, I don't know if we mentioned this on stream. Here's a toxic, until we can get another story. Here's a toxic story
Yeah.
that we both dealt with um, in our previous job that I guess we can freely talk about now.
I'm still not gonna like name
We're not naming
companies
names.
and businesses because
Mm-mm.
I still won't
Well, let's.
like at this point I will talk like I will name the business that the call center was because now I'm like removed enough from it
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't bother me.
Mm.
But I'm still not gonna name the business.
No, no, of course not. I
That
wouldn't
we
dare.
just left.
Well, here's
Not
a juicy thing. And if I could, if we can instill some sort of bravery, or if you have any advice or questions that we can get advice to, let us know. But
yeah.
we're gonna call him Harold because Harold seems like such a basic name. Harold, our boss Harold, right? Our
Sure.
previous boss Harold. Um, he kind of he's kind of low key sexist. Not gonna lie.
He's
Um,
racist
and
too.
he's racist. Which I think is why he was scared of me. I kid you not, Harold was scared of me because I had a little spice. Not gonna lie.
He's a
So
white man. He can't handle spice.
right. So it came to a point in I was our third year, 2 years for you, three
Hmm.
years for me. I think we were working.
Okay.
That we realized he didn't pay us. He didn't give us a raise or anything. We worked there
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
over because usually it's over a year that you ask for a raise, correct?
Yeah.
And I saw that he was, of course, exploiting Abby over here for many reasons. He thought he could,
Hmm.
and but he did not pay us enough for that bullshittery, whatever that bullshittery was. I was like, it's time to ask for a raise. And I wrote down all the good points of why we deserve a raise because
Hmm.
he's not a smart man. I hate to say it, he's not a very smart man.
He's not.
So, but if
Like,
you,
don't feel bad about saying it. It's he did this himself.
yeah, he's not a smart man. However, I wrote out all the good points because I can be smart if I try my best. Like I can be smart and give good points and debate pretty well, straight up.
She
So,
can.
yeah, I
She's
spoke.
not just a beautiful face. She's got some brain in there
I'm
sometimes.
intelligent sometimes when I want to show it. So I wrote all these things down, and then I asked Abby, "Listen, I'm gonna go ask for my raise. You can join me if you want. You don't even have to talk. I'll talk for you if you're too like." Because again, it's in a position of power where it's harder for you, right? Because Harold
Yeah.
is like, it's harder for you.
It was harder for me.
So I was like, I understand that it's harder, but if you want to follow me, we can do it together. And I know for a fact because Abby was with me, Harold couldn't
Mm-hmm.
like be bully her essentially. I know that's how he plays his game. I don't accept that.
Because like especially in like the last year,
Mhm.
to like 8 months of us being there, he wouldn't really talk to me while you were there.
Mm-mm. Nope. And I know why, because he's a, no, I'm not going to say it. I got to keep it. Okay.
Abusive.
No, he's a piece of shit, but that's okay. That's why.
He's also abusive.
Yeah, he is also abusive. So,
He's extremely financially abusive.
right. And he tried to pull this toxic tactic while we were both there. So we walk in, and I said, I explained to him, hey, we've been working here for a few years, and I think it's about time you gave us a raise. Immediately, you could tell he wasn't looking me in the eyes. He looked down. And he then tried to pit us against each other, as if we don't talk. Yeah, as if we don't talk. Like,
all the time.
Because
all the goddamn time.
I kid you not. He said, well, Abby gets these bonuses. Abby, do you want me to just not give you these bonuses if you get a raise? I immediately butt in and say, no, she gets to keep those. I mean, if it's part of her job, she gets to keep those and just give her raise. When I tell you the shame in this man's eyes, because he was like surprised that I didn't know that. Because again, Abby works on commissions because she's the one selling the items, not me. So it makes sense that she gets commissions.
I'll rope you in. I'm just like, girl, it's like I got the Spanish.
Oh yeah, I'm just an interpreter. I'm just a Spanish interpreter. I don't sell. I don't like selling. I don't. I will if I have to. If no one else is there, I'll do it. But you're the one selling the items. You get commission. Harold was so ashamed because he didn't think I knew about that, the bonuses or the commissions. I said, no, she gets to keep those and just give her a raise. When I tell you, he looked down and he started stuttering and just like was ashamed that I would say that, because in reality, and I also said she needed to be paid more than I did because you were assistant manager. You didn't get assistant manager pay. And I told him this, like, you need to pay her as an assistant manager. Bruh. Let's just say we came out richer.
But also he stopped giving me my commission.
Oh yeah, he tried to stop giving her your commissions. Like, he just absolute toxic person. Just because I made all these good points and he knew he couldn't exploit Abby anymore because, again, I was there and I wasn't allowing that. And the fact that I was like, you need to pay her more than me because we were being paid the same. And I was like, you shouldn't be paid what I'm paying. Like, that's not what know your worth. That's what I said. Know your worth.
Yep.
I walked right up there and what could he do? Every point I made was a fantastic point. And every time he would debate it, it would show how much of an asshole he was. And he didn't want to look like an asshole because he's, toxic, abusive person. So we got what we wanted in the end. But I was like, that toxicity that he tried to play us, like pit us against each other. This is why you need to...
Wife against wife, how dare he?
Wife against wife. Yeah, he doesn't fucking know. Like, he doesn't fucking know.
He doesn't understand our bond.
Nope. I was like, you are messing with the wrong person. Wrong person. Absolutely
There's
not.
a reason why Ricey's the spicy wifey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's true. That is true. I can't. Oh, bullying manager, these bowls ain't loyal. These bowls ain't loyal. But yes, that's another toxic story that I actually love saying. Because again, if you have a good team and you back each other up, your team can accomplish so much. Like, so much. That's why I think it's good having a strong team in any workplace. Yeah. For sure. All right. Kumo 100%. Has one. Do you want to read Kumo's?
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, there's part 1. 3.1 from Kumo. Can give this one not so toxic as much as funny, but a toxic person stars. Our company gave our department $500 for us to have a holiday party. That's actually like a really good budget.
That's really good.
Our old department head, who was toxic as fuck, kept ignoring her secretary every time she tried to help out with the party, saying director was handling it. The day of the party comes and director comes in with homemade lasagna. We had a vegan on staff at the time, and I can't eat it due to a personal medical issue that she was aware of. Both. Ugh. Second, even with us not eating, they ran out of main course before everyone got to eat. Third, the second time limit of the party ended, she took leftovers home while she.
Are you
Oh! Fourth,
serious?
we found out later she turned in the receipts for her personal grocery and stole the payment.
You're
That's
kidding. That's
horrible.
awful. Fire her. Yep.
That's stealing.
That's absolutely stealing. That's some bullshit. I would have raised hell.
That's awful.
I would raise hell. Bet.
As like a selective eater, like that's awful.
Yeah. Raised hell. Oh, also,
Like,
I think, was it
holy
Chester?
shit. That's. How much she got in trouble for that?
I hope so too. That's some bullshit.
Some
Okay,
fucking
so
bullshit.
Chester said something as well. Lots of people in power have this egomaniac fixation with power, and this is why the boss man is always
Mhm.
discriminating, sexist, and a bully. Now, what some brave person got to do is knock him down a few pegs, even if that means losing your job. You need to keep your dignity. I agree, but again, it's a complicated situation, just because a lot of
Yeah.
people cannot be able to afford that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
that's why I say it's better to have a good team to back you up, because your team can
Yep.
help you, and you won't lose your job. Like I have had to this day, I'm still friends with a lot of my team members from various jobs that I had, because we built a good team structure that no matter what happens, we back each other up. I have so
Yeah.
many good friends from previous jobs that I still keep in contact because of that. Abby being one of them.
Ye.
Because
Actually, I don't. There's only really one person that I keep in contact with from my time at World Market, and even then, it's really rare.
mm-hmm.
Um, but like I'm still friends with a lot of them on Facebook. Like I can post something, and it's just like, oh yeah, you remember this toxic ass time we were at World Market, and all of them would come in and be like, oh yeah, that's shit.
Yeah.
Um, but we all had come to terms. Like I proposed this. I'm like, she is like the manager was abusive, and we could clearly see that she was trying to isolate people. She would corner
Mm.
people and yell at them on like um empty aisles and things like
Oh
that.
hell no.
And it's like we had started making rules. It's just like you don't have to talk to her by yourself. If you
Mm-hmm.
go off and wander off as a staff, as just like stalker sales, you like someone will be on the other aisle, or you can just ask to have one of the managers, if she had scheduled a manager, to be there for that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
um she was also like abusive to the manager. Like that's how bad it was, is she was abusive to
Mm-mm.
everybody, including the managers. And so she would isolate the managers in the office and corner them in the office. And it was just one of those things that it's like the entire team was looking out for one another.
Oh hell
Um,
no. Mm-hmm. I mean, good for the
to
team,
the
but like,
point that it's just like if the other manager was there, like we had two managers. If the
yeah.
other manager was there, they would be in the office with them. If not, it's like we would try to get into the office for whatever reason.
Mm.
Like not all staff members could justify being in the office, but some of them could.
Yeah.
So like we would try and get in the office to just not have anyone alone with her.
Well, I see. That's what I'm talking about. That's some good teamwork. Because if y'all know, that's fucking abusive. That's not even just toxic. That's just hella abusive.
Yeah. No, it's like I'm not joking when I say she was verbally and emotionally abusive,
Mm-hmm. I would
because she would hide it.
I would raise hell.
Like that's the mark of an abuser, is that they would hide it. They would
Mm-hmm.
make sure outsiders don't see it.
Oh yeah, I would have raised hell. But you know me.
She would be on her best behavior when visiting managers would come over, or GMs. When the district and regional manager, she'd be on her best behavior. But that just wasn't the case.
Mm. Mm.
Also, like I have a story. I know I've told the story for like Christmas horror stories.
Oh
When we did that,
yeah.
that someone took a shit in the kitchen
Yeah,
department.
you did tell me that.
What I
That's
have
true.
not told is that we had a functioning alcoholic on the team at one point that was stealing alcohol
Oh,
regularly
no
and
way.
drinking on the clock and would have like huge handles of vodka in her purse.
Is that so?
Hmm.
That's
It was
that's some shit, dude. I don't even know what to say.
someone like one of the girls tried really hard to be like really good friends with her and just kind of like support her and stuff and
Hmm.
took her home when she had like a really bad like emotional crisis or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, this girl was it. So let's see here. We'll call drunkard, functioning alcoholic,
Um, Chester's
Melissa.
asking, did you say that someone took a shit in the kitchen department?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, someone took a shit
No, I'm not
like
taking. I'm not
the
gonna.
Saturday before Christmas in like 2016 or something at the
That's
World Market I worked at.
bruh, bruh. That's I just. Mm,
And management didn't clean it up.
that's so disgusting. That's so
They had an
disgusting.
employee clean it up.
Oh my god. Oh hell no. I would have raised hell. I would have
Yeah,
raised
no,
hell.
like,
I would have raised hell. I'd be like, no, because technically the manager is supposed to be the one to clean it up.
yep,
I'm just.
for
Mm-mm.
like any bodily accident, so like blood vomit, shit like that,
That's supposed to be
it has to
management.
be
Yeah,
management.
exactly. Oh hell no.
Um,
I'd be like, "Ugh."
they did not. Nope, I remember that.
I'd probably
But
take another shit and be like, I quit. They got. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally
yep.
kidding.
Um,
Professional. That's right.
but for the alcoholic, so we'll call her Marissa, and the kind-hearted employee that was just trying to be her friend and be like a support to her, we'll call her um
Melissa and Marissa. No, it'll be confusing.
girl, no, my brain is
Yeah,
too fucking
I
stupid for that.
know. Okay.
Um,
What's the goal of
we'll call her
shitting in the
Dolly.
kitchen?
We'll call her
Dolly?
Dolly. We'll
Oh,
call her
okay.
Dolly.
Dolly.
So Dolly was driving Melissa home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Melissa had another breakdown. Melissa had a breakdown at work, and Dolly's like, I'll take her home. I'll drive her home. My shift in is done anyway. I'll drive her home.
Yeah.
I have a car. And she is clearly not in a position to be driving, so I'll drive her.
Right.
So Dolly at some point pulls over and is just like talking to her or whatnot. Melissa loses her shit and bites the absolute fuck out of Dolly's arm.
You're kidding. Oh God, that's
No, I'm
toxic. Like,
not.
well,
Like
not.
I had,
Well, I'm not
she
saying that's
showed me
toxic, but like
pictures and I got to see it in person.
a human bite
Like
is
I'm,
actually toxic to the human. Like that's dangerous.
yeah. So Melissa just took a huge ass bite out of her. Also, like kicked the fuck, like kicked out her front window
Why? Oh, she was drunk, right?
because she was a functioning alcoholic and it did not go well.
I don't know about that being functioning, but yes.
She
Mm.
was at work.
Oh my God.
She was making sales, but for a while we were noticing like cashiers and stuff. I was supposed to be sales. I was hired as sales, but obviously I was put on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were noticing that there were the little alcoholic travel bottles, like single serve bottles
Oh
of the
yeah.
wine showing up in the trash can.
Ooh. So she was stealing, just doing all that. Mm-mm-mm.
And that wasn't handled at all.
Please tell me she got fired.
I honestly don't remember if she got fired.
Damn.
Like I honestly don't if she got fired or if she quit. But I
Mm.
do know that Dolly, I'm pretty sure pressed charges.
Good. As she
Just
should.
so that
A human
so
bite
that
is
like insurance
dangerous.
would fucking pay for her windshield.
Well, it's not even that. Like a human bite is dangerous. You could potentially die if you were bitten and it pierced the skin and you're that a
Oh
human
yeah, it
bite is
pierced the skin.
dangerous.
It
Yep.
was fucked up.
Yeah, that is dangerous. If anyone gets bitten by another human and it pierces the skin, you need to go to a hospital immediately because a human bite can be toxic. Very much. It's very, very dangerous. A lot of people don't realize that because, we're like, I don't know. I
So
guess
we're
we think
venomous.
we could be, or we're potentially dangerous because there's so much bacteria in our mouths that it could, like, if it enters your bloodstream, it's very dangerous. A little health fact, if you didn't know. But yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I think. Oh shoot, we were talking about this. We actually have to wrap it up soon.
Oh, my bad.
No, not at all. That was fantastic. I'm so glad that we did this topic. One, to kind of, for me to kind of
Help
rant
you.
a little bit. Yeah. So I know that the world is just crazy in general. And two, I'm glad everyone else has their own stories. We can all experience it and talk about it together. And again, if
And the
there's,
reason, like, I didn't really push this, but I'm just like, if you want to talk about this, we can talk about this, is because we need to normalize talking about abuse in toxic situations,
especially in the
not just
workplace.
work.
Yes, not just work, but considering the job, I think it's important now because
Hmm.
I feel like we're millennials, all right?
Yeah.
We have a certain view of our workplace jobs because again, we were raised in millennials to be like, "Oh, there's always going to be a job waiting for you." It turns out that's not the case because, we went through so many historical events that jobs are much more scarce now, you know? And we're all just taking jobs as we can find them. However, I feel like now we can't have like that mentality. I want us to support each other in realizing that you don't have to be stuck in a situation like this. Like I know for a lot of people you are, and
Hmm.
that's very hard. But also we can change the outcome. Like I hate to say that Gen Z is doing very well for themselves in realizing like,
Hmm.
oh, if this doesn't help me, I'm not helping this, so they leave, which is very good in my opinion. I think that's very very.
Yeah.
I think it's good because like
I think
I hate to say
I think the millennials have struggled to kind of like set the standard for our generation, but we've been able to protect and educate the next generation so that they can be the driving force behind it.
that's the fantastic way of putting it. Yes, I
Because
also
I don't shy away from this opinion that it's, as the older generation, we are to protect and educate the next generation.
I
We're not supposed to stifle them.
not only that,
And
I also love that the younger generation, when they do this, the older generation doesn't know how to handle it. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, especially with boomers, they're like, okay,
Mhm.
to the Gen Zers, okay, you need to do this, this, and this, but also do this, which was partially my job. But you're gonna do it, and if the Gen Z is like, no, like they'll talk back to upper management, and upper management was like, yeah, you do this, or we're firing you, and they're like, all right, bet, peace, I'm out. Like they don't, because especially boomers think that, oh, when you're in a job, you're in there for loyalty. I can't. It's always the loyalty, Oh God, they always use that. You're there for the loyalty to, like, we're a family.
I'm an
You don't do this
extremely
to your
loyal
family.
person, but once you cross me, it's
Yeah,
done.
what loyalty then? Like I hate that they
I
use
think
like
you've seen that in real time with our former management.
yeah. But also when they say, "Oh, we're like a family." No, we're not. This is a business workplace. You're not my family. No, we are not like a family. Fuck that. No. And then they
I'm not your
bounce.
family, I'm your wife.
Oh yeah. But when they bounce, they're like, "Oh no, how? Why are we losing all these people? Because you suck as management. Period. Period."
You
Anyway,
suck as family.
yeah, you suck as family. If this is family, I don't want to be a part of it.
This is not
Bouncing.
Ohana.
No, yeah, this is not Ohana. Oh gosh. Anywho, who
That's
are
gonna be the
you?
new insult. This
Yeah,
is
this is
not
not
Ohana.
Ohana. I'm out. But yes, who are you? We've been going at it.
I am at Mickey Ree. Let me say hello. I know I just like Chester was like, what's the purpose? What's the goal of one second. I
Yeah,
know I
take your
shouldn't
time.
be, but I am playing like Sky.
Oh
They're
yeah,
my
get them
dailies.
dailies.
Um, I always try to avoid the mantas in that main area. And fuck them. Um,
There you are.
there. Yep, that's me. You can find me here. You can find me kicking Ricey's ass at Splatoon or carrying her ass. No, I don't really carry your ass in Phasmophobia.
I kind of just uh
Um,
die. I go in there knowing I'm gonna die.
yeah, it's like you. There is no carrying you when you're just like reckless abandon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't. So like, I kick your ass in Splatoon. I'll just watch and laugh at you and try and do something stupid with you in Phasmophobia.
Yeah, that's the
I
best way
do
to
play
describe
Sky
it.
with you.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta figure out. Speaking of Sky, the new season starts tomorrow.
Oh, really? Ooh,
Yeah,
it's already been
and I've
15
already
days.
kind of like seen the entrance to the new area.
Oh, nice.
There's a new area, by the way.
Sweet.
Also, I'm talking about Sky Children of the Light. Highly suggest it. It's free on
We need more friends.
uh, yes, Android, Apple, Switch, and actually now PlayStation.
Sweet.
It's the people who do Journey. I don't stream. I do this with Ricey. But you can find me on Twitter with that same handle. I'm not really active on anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So I am a bowl of ricey. You can find me here. Wait, hold on. I can do this. There we go.
You can do it.
Hoi.
I believe in you.
I'm a bowl of ricey. You can find me on Twitch, streaming Tuesdays through Tuesdays through to Thursdays. Blah. I can speak at 7 p.m. Central Time. I usually you can also find me on Twitter with the same handle. And what else?
You
That's
have
about
an
it.
Instagram, but
I
you're
don't
not
ever
really
use it.
active on Instagram
No,
at the moment.
no, I really don't. So I'm just saying Twitter. I'm mostly active on Twitter and Twitch. So catch me there. And where can we find us? Where can we find us? Where can y'all find us? My bad.
We don't know. You can find us here Sundays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time with our opinions, and we'll be happy to hear your opinions. And you can send us your opinions outside of that time at our Twitter, What's Your Pin 10? We were gonna do like a what is it? A 2023 bingo card.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I had to deal with
Um,
toxic workplace environments.
That's fair. But I will admit the one thing I was not expecting for my 2023 bingo at all was a Disney CEO apologizing.
That's true. Was not expecting that at all. We'll we'll publish it hopefully if I can remember this week and I'm not like
We're not
tired.
don't lie like that.
I'm
We're
gonna
not gonna
try,
remember.
okay? I'm gonna
We're
try.
not gonna remember.
I just want
Stop
to try.
lying.
I'm doing my best.
We are doing our best. Like I am.
Anyway,
I still haven't started a new job.
you know what?
But I had
From my experience, just take your time. Just take your time. Don't rush into anything.
but I started a new novel.
Ooh.
And I haven't it was something the webtoon was it's on Manta actually, but the manhwa online was actually advertised on Manta on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh okay, went and found it bootlegged.
Hey.
Hey, but also that it's based off a novel, so I started reading the novel, and that's been
Ooh.
great. That has been fantastic.
Well, nice. Well, thank you guys so much for watching or listening, I guess, in this situation. Thank you guys so much for listening in. Join us next week for another topic. Or if you have a topic you would like us to discuss, just go ahead and tweet at us at What's Your Pen 10. We will definitely look at all those because we just check our Twitters a lot.
We don't ever do anything on that Twitter.
No, we really don't. So if you have anything you want us to discuss, let us know at What's Your Pen 10. Is that everything? Yes. Stay safe, you guys, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.